Facts.
Deducted.
Yo, last time we were here, we always like I said, the obligatory, there's certain names in boxing that attract news, that always keep their names in the news cycle. We mentioned Canelo a few minutes ago. We had known about the Charlo fight, but we were trying to figure out what could be the possible third fight in that deal, or maybe if it's, maybe he does the Charlo fight and then the Benavidez fight is the last fight, we say, because they'd have to re-up for a rematch, so that indebts him a little bit to PBC again. Al makes his money, Canelo makes his money. But now we're starting to pick up a lot of legs, is Bud Crawford fight. The Bud Spence fight fell apart. I didn't think the Canelo fight was, I thought it was just, fodder but now that fight is falling apart, and we kind of always knew that fight was going to fall apart because PBC really didn't want that fight to happen. You know what I'm saying? So, but that Canelo Crawford has got a little bit more legs on it. I want to play something from Paulie Malignaggi. His thoughts on the potential Canelo Bud fight. It's a really good take. Listen.
He is really getting the Canelo fight. What kind of shot you giving him?
I don't know. I don't know, man. I think it's I don't know. This sport is weird, bro. I don't know. I think he should go big, small. He's carried up his weight very well so far with the power as well. But this is now 3 weight classes. This is like a sideshow at this point. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know, man. You don't give. Benavidez has been the monster on the door waiting for the title shot, and there's always an excuse. You Bebo, you're chasing greatness. This guy, because, you got to give Golovkin his third fight back. This guy, Ryder, I don't know, because he's Ryder. Mandatory. Even though when Jamal was the mandatory, when he was dangerous 5 years ago, he didn't get the shot, right? Avni Yildirim, no, mandatory. Why do the mandatories only get honored when the guys are hopeless? But when they're not hopeless, it's okay not to honor them,
That's a good point.
So, I don't know, man. At this point, what do you say? What do you do?
You're not giving him a shot then.
Wait, Crawford at Canelo? No, I wouldn't say that. I think it's a very difficult fight because, I think size matters. I think Crawford overall is a better fighter, but I don't. Can he get respect? Can he hurt him? Can he keep up?
Look, that fight looked like it's gonna come to fruition. I mean, you like that fight? Does Crawford have a chance? And is that Canelo, just another slick way to duck Benavidez?
I mean, see, and again, the purist in me, I don't like the fight because both of these fighters could be doing other things. You know what I mean? They could be better served doing other shit. So for me, Crawford, I understand why and how the Spence fight fell apart. You can't put syrup on shit and call it a pancake. It ain't that. But you have to find another way to keep, Crawford occupied. I always thought, something at 154 against one of the Charlos would be a little bit more suitable. And for Canelo, obviously, why not Benavidez, even if we had to look at the business end and say it's got to do a Charlo and then Benavidez should be in the mix. However, if you're a Bud Crawford fan, you just kind of say to yourself, man, you get a little nervous because I am a Bud Crawford fan, but at the same time, I'm like, I think he can do it because he's just a different kind of person. So when you talk about a generational talent, forget about boxing. I think he is a generational type of individual, and I just hang it on these few points. Bud Crawford is the type of individual, he don't drink and he don't smoke. And shit, he's more impressive than me because I don't got that level of self-discipline.
Right.
So for him to be able to manage, life on life's terms, totally, I was totally respect to that, right? Then on top of that, the discipline and restraint it takes to make weight as a fighter, whatever he's walking around at, right?
Yeah.
Then add to that, I mean, when he was young, his mom's put a bag on his head. You know what I'm saying? So, the certain mentality you have where you come to accept the toughest kind of love and make you a different kind of person, period. And again, maybe that's too much for the average boxing fan to understand, but you ain't gonna just put a motherfucker in the ring with some gloves on and expect him to wilt under pressure or because he's in adversity. He's gonna try his best to try to get out of those situations. Now, when it comes to the technique, now how does that factor in with the technique? Canelo's always had problems with southpaws, right? Crawford, again, I'm just gonna think just the people that think that Crawford is somehow smaller or not as strong. I'm gonna point to what was it, playoff weekend? He's out there playing basketball with a former professional football player with Des Bryant. He's got
Des is brolic, yeah.
He's got the wrestling background. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that he is and does that if they allow him, say he don't even want to go to 168 as in weight. Say he just likes 165, 164. I believe that his reach advantage and all of those things could give him an opportunity to certainly beat Canelo. Not discounting Canelo's strength, not discounting Canelo's lateral movement. I don't think Bud's been in there with anybody with that type of lateral movement. But I just think with the internal, the shit that you can't measure, plus the measurables, Crawford has an obvious chance, even though I'd rather see him fight Boots.
Has Bud been in there with somebody with that much crack?
Yes. But I don't think, I don't think he can. He has to see. I see Hagler Hearns written all over this. He's going to touch Canelo because he's faster and he's smart enough to land that shot. The problem is you ain't never seen Canelo do the dance. You ain't never. You see Canelo hurt and he becomes a smarter boxer in the Triple G fight and a few others. You don't see Canelo hit with the shot. Even when Bivol hit him with the Street Fighter combo, 25 piece, he didn't look like he was anywhere near out or like he was, which means two things. If you don't have the crack to keep him off of you, how are you going to keep him from getting to your body and eventually getting to your chin? When I see Bud get cracked from what's my dude from Europe? Looked like he dropped him, but they didn't give it to him. Cavalcasius, or when I see Bud get hit with shots like that, or the one he got hit with from Little Benavidez and was on rubbery legs, I almost know how this fight is going to play out. But for the sake of testing your, put your fortitude on the line, get paid, go down swinging, and hopefully you got enough power to stop him. But I really don't see. I see this looking like Hagler Hearns. We could possibly get the best 4 to 5 rounds in boxing history if Ball gets hurt and turns up, and Canelo gets hurt and doesn't give an inch after he gets hit, just like Hagler did with Hearns. That's what I see.
Speaking of that, to WBC, right? I got